Okay. Welcome to session 39. Oh, hold on. I didn't update the text. Okay. Session 390. 390. I did some updates to the program. As you can see, the version of the program is 0.7y alpha. Previously, it was X or something, or W. Who knows? I was thinking of actually bumping it another version, but I settled with this version. So there's some changes that I did in this version, obviously. That's why I bumped it up a version, right? One of the changes that I made was a difference of score calculation. Why is this part of the green screen not working? Right here. So regarding the score calculation, I added additional logic. So you get 1 point for hitting the note, right? But you also get points for the previous note, the length of the previous note. What is the, like, I'm hitting a note, right? Once I hit the note, it looks at the previous note for that length, the previous note length. And it gives me points based off that. Whole notes gives less points than eighth notes because, it goes by speed, length, time, whatever you call it. So that's one area. Updated score. So you're not going to see it in the previous JSONs, right? Because I updated what the JSON saves for each song when I play with a guitar. And there's additional things that's saved. Now there's timing. Did I play the note on time, early, or late? It also considers a score points for that. And also, the length of the note is saved in the JSON in both float and string format. If it's 16th note, 8th note, whatever, and the value 0.5, 0.8, whatever. So that saves in the JSON. So the timing, the note length, and the string and the float, and I think that's it. There's three things in the JSON. And now there's that new score calculation is applied from here on after, right? It won't apply to previous songs because I already played them. But I did introduce debugging concepts that I could load any JSON and do the new calculation to it. However, I don't know if I need to worry about size of the JSON. Oh no, 200 kilobits is a lot. Oh no. But every time I play through, you're going to save a new JSON with that size. But that's another topic. So it'll save the JSONs, right? When I play with the real guitar, the whole song, it'll save the measure, every string and every fret and every note index and every measure index, the tempo of the measure, and then now the note length, string and float, and the timing of the note. Okay, so that's one thing I updated. The next thing I updated is visual note detection. So let's say I'm playing the guitar and you see the note. Before I would have to look at the top. Now it says hits. It used to say score. I used to go by that score. Did I hit the note? Well, look at the score. The score incremented. Now I introduced a visual note hit detection. Let's say I hit the note with the guitar. You're gonna see a blue highlight behind a light blue white background highlight of the note itself, which is new. So I'm excited to see the visual feedback. Did I hit the note? Well, now I'll know if I hit the note because I'll see the feedback if I hit the note. So the score update, visual note hit detection showing off visual feedback. That's two things. The third thing I updated in this version, let me demo it here, is the settings screen. So you go to settings. There's three new sliders and three new buttons. So the first slider, look this many seconds away. Right now, currently set to 2. Second slider, start note Y vector. And the third slider, velocity scale. And the buttons I'll apply to these sliders. I adjust the settings any of them, whatever. And the reset button, resets it to a certain value. The save saves it to a JSON. The load loads it to a JSON. So you see the subtext. If not saving, then slider will apply to session only. Meaning, if I change something right here, let's change them all to the very low. We'll change this one very high and change this very low. And I hit back. I go back to the settings. It'll remember it. But if I start the program, start it over, a session is concluded. And it'll reset back to whatever the JSON values were. Same thing with the reset button. It'll just reset the values if I hit the reset button. So I could save it and load it to JSON. So what these values are is, well, 3 different ways of controlling the same thing to an extent. Look this many seconds away. That's like, there's a current song time, right? And each note has its start time. Well, the look this many seconds away says, okay, look at the current song time plus this many seconds is when I should start displaying the notes when they're in that range. Like the current song time plus 2 seconds, any notes that starts in that range will start at the top of the screen and go down, right? The starts note wide vector is how high on the screen or low will the note display on the screen when it initially starts. Right now it's at 10, so look this many seconds away is 2 seconds by default. I have it 2 seconds looking in advance. Then following that, I have the starts note wide vector starting at 10, so it starts at 10 vector. And then I have velocity scale. That's just an adjustment if I'm adjusting the 2 other sliders. How fast the velocity of the notes will be going, right? I don't really know how much I'm going to play around with this, but I know eventually I might. For the moment, I'm happy with the current settings, but I know if I go on tempo that's like 160, 180, then I may want to look at notes that are like 1.5 seconds away instead of 2 seconds away or something. Because of the speed of the song changes and all that stuff. It's very situational, but it's there. I don't know, because these settings I have, they're just like, oh, these settings work. And, I just kind of rolled with it. But this allows me to play with different settings. Do I want it to display faster, sooner, at a lower spot? Whatever, it's up to me. And the thing is, I don't have to reset the program to apply these variables, right? That's the whole point of allowing a user to change variables while the program's running, right? So I'm going to keep expanding this the settings screen over time, but I'm excited about this because whenever I feel like playing around with the note settings, here we go. And it's not going to be perfect, right? Let me just give an example. Let's go back to the default. I mean, this is the default 2.10.1. And let's just look at I'll give an example. Breathe Life. So Breathe Life by default is 200 tempo, right? What I usually do is dynamic tempo. In this case, it's 72 tempo average. And when it's this low, I could read the notes. It's no problem, right? Oh, it detected a note. Although it shouldn't have. But anyways, you can see that, yeah, it looks good. Wow, why is it saying I hit the notes? I'm not even strumming the freaking guitar. Anyways, but if you go back to the default tempo, go to tempo reset 200, and we try it again, look how crazy it gets, right? Like, okay, I need to speed the notes up because this is way too much, right? So what you do is you go to settings. Let's just try 1. Just see what it is. 1 second away. Now it's so fast, but the problem is it's not aligned, right? Way I could tell is look at the bass notes. It's going past the finish line. So what I have to do is slow down the velocity. Try again. And you just have to play around with it. Because right now I told it to go, like, if it shouldn't go past, okay, now it's too soon. You could tell because the bass note's deleting too quick. So maybe like 85 or 84. See, it just requires playing around with it. That's still too early. But regardless, you get the point, I think. But I'm here to play the scores, the updated score logic. And oh, also I forgot. How could I forget? There's another thing that I updated. The fourth thing, the tempo screen and the dynamic tempo screen. I added a new checkbox. So what this checkbox does is says calculate multi-track. Let's say there's more than one guitar arrangement, right? There's a lead and there's a rhythm and there's an alt lead. There's 3 guitars or there's even 2 guitars. If I don't check this calculate multi-track, let's hit apply. See, lead is 8 minutes 22 seconds, but you go to alt lead, it's 3 minutes. Because I only modified the one tempo or the one arrangement that I had selected, which was the lead. But let's say I want to do dynamic tempo for every measure of this song, for every arrangement of this song. And what that does, you go to tempo, dynamic, you check off calculate multi-track. And then what this does is instead of just calculating the selected arrangement, it throws every arrangement in the mix and says, should I decrease, increase the tempo? It looks like each arrangement scores hit or miss, and it considers each arrangement in that logic. So now that's 72 BPM average, 822 length for both the lead and alt lead. So you have the alt lead selected. Now it's 822, just like the lead. Now they're matching because this is when I want to do multi-track. If I ever want to record more than one guitar for a song and I want to have dynamic tempo, before I would have to worry about the tempo for each arrangement. Like, oh, the dynamic tempo is good for the lead, but I'm not so good at the alt lead. So I got to suffer because the tempo is just adjusted for one, not the other. And if I wanted to adjust it for the other, it would be different from the other. Like if I wanted to adjust the alt lead would be different from the lead. But now no longer, right? Now it's just each arrangement at the same time has the same tempo. So it allowed me to multi-track the arrangements at a tempo that's fair to each arrangement. So we'll see whenever I use that. Who knows when I'll use that. I still haven't played anything but lead for all the Killswitch Engage songs, and I wonder how different the rhythm and the alt leads are for Killswitch Engage. I'm sure they're the same thing in slightly different format. 1 or 2 frets off from one another. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. But yeah, with those updates out the way, those 4 exciting updates, the score, logic update, the settings menu update, the note detection visualization feedback, and the dynamic tempo screen calculating the dynamic tempo for each arrangement rather than an individual arrangement. 4 things in this version, pretty fun. I'm going to go through the score. I'm going to play a song probably twice in a row, look at the score each time, and we'll go from there. So session 390, you know the routine. I'm going to be right back 5-10 minutes before I start playing, then we're going to go from there. Okay. So we're going to see how these new things go. I'm excited to see the visual feedback for the guitar input. But I know I should tune it. It hasn't held a tune for longer than who knows how long. So here we go. Say hello to Greenie. Okay. I guess I'll do Breathe Live because I have it selected. So I got to use a noise suppressor plugin because of the pickups are loud. Watch. You're going to hear some background noise. Listen to that. And at the push of a button, it's gone. But still clear. So this is really out of tune, I'm sure. So everything's connected. There's so many layers to go through just for its stream. So with that said, session 390. Pitch, tuner, not open G. So many tunings. Drop C. Okay, let's see how it goes. Not bad. Oh, wait. Okay, try the 5th string. So the low string, the drop C is a C. The 5th string is off by just one step as well. How strange. Is it the intonation? I did adjust the truss rod. It was too much one direction. I had to slightly adjust it. There's some cracking, but it's okay. That's off by 2 steps. And of course, I'm doing the wrong string. Back to 4. So drop C lets you play open strings, right? That's the appeal of it. With the open string, it's like a power chord of E standard, but it's also heavier sounding. There's only one reason why I'm in this tuning. It's a band called Killswitch Engage. And they have at least 3 albums worth of solid material. Alive or Just Breathing, The End of Heartache. No, sorry, not The End of Heartache. That's the single from... I can't even say the album name. There's As Daylight Dies, and then there's Alive or Just Breathing. Is that the second album, The End of Heartache? For some reason, I can't remember. Oh, that's sharp. So yeah, this is Pygame, Python, PyGuitar Pro, private programming project. And it's fun. It's a tuning screen with guitar input, guitar output from interface, input through USB from the typical 1/4 wire. So I don't think I can do harmonics. Well, that's the best I've got. And the first, wow. I thought that it's not really set up for harmonic. This guitar is not set up for harmonica right now. Because I did add that visual note detection harmonics. It's like a sparkly effect. But I'm going to test out the new score calculation now that it considers the note length. A lot of the Killswitch Engage songs are 16th notes, I think, or they're 8th notes. One of those. But it comes in patterns. 4 chords here, 2 chords there, 4 here. Throw pinky in the first, stretch them out. Something like that. Hold on, before I continue, I did adjust something else. The ready to play position. Let's see, I'm trying to get the point at the right spot. So before, the ready to play position was about right here. So if a note was around here and the finish line was right here, sometimes it would say, okay, right here, note ready to be played. I lowered it. I lowered it to be here-ish. So, but the thing is, does it really matter? Because technically, if I'm doing a sustain of that note, it's going to be detected as long as the note is held. But then again, when you go to the pitch screen, tuner screen, there's a toggle for volume threshold I have as really low. See how I'm not even playing anything, it's detecting? See, and I could toggle that by threshold of volume. See, it detects all that only when it reaches volume. But that cut off the sustain, doesn't it? For the detection. All I need is the bass. Right now, my score doesn't calculate the sustain and the note duration. It just calculates the bass note starting time. You know, there's a bass and there's a sustain. Right now, it just determines the bass note starting time in relation to considering the note hit or miss if it detects guitar input frequency in that time. Oh, and it crashed. I wonder if it saved the JSON at least. Let's see. You know, I did test this, but there was so many changes that I made in this branch, in this version. Those 4 pretty big changes, but that happened right when it crashed. December 11th. I did save it. Okay. My score 144491. Current accuracy 81. Wow, I'm surprised I got that good accuracy, but then not at. Then again, that whole visual notation, that visual feedback, the blue highlight, that told me I'm done with the note. I can move on. I could cut off the sustain, and I could just wait for the next one. So because without that visual feedback of highlighting the blue, you kind of lose track of what note did I play, what one's next, based on the site reading the speed. So overall, this improvement is great. So Breeze Life, 81%. That's 81% accuracy even when I updated the note ready to play time to be closer to the finish line, less forgiveness. But I also had trouble on those 4 open strings on the 6th and 5th. For some reason, I threw 5s in there instead of 4. But, you know, it takes some getting used to. Also, the power chord. Just got to remember those. All right, so 1,400 score when I had 900. Oh, wow. That's because of the streak, for one thing. I had 179 streak. That's crazy. But the score increments by 1 per each 10 I have in a streak. So if I had 179, that's 17 notes, 17 score a note from 1 through 17. Dang, that's a lot of points. Combined with the bonus for the note lengths that I just added in. Faster notes have more score. 8th notes, 16th notes give more score than a half note, whole note, because they're more difficult to play. So the note that I hit, it looks at the previous note length. So if the previous note was the 8th note, it doesn't matter what the current note is, because it's that transition from the previous to the current note that you want to count. So 144 score, the only bonuses being applied is the streak and the note length and timing bonus. So 179 gave from 1 to 16 points per note during that streak. And that's just the longest streak. I might have had more streaks up to beyond 10. So a streak below 10 is no bonus, but from streaks 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and beyond by 10s, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. And then the points given for the note lengths granted is very minimal. It's for every note length that is applied. It's something like 1 through 12 points. A whole note being 1, half note, dotted half note being 2. I'm talking individual points. 0.01, 0.02. Right, because I don't want to give a whole point for the note length. I want to give as, just minimal right now. So right now, each note length starting at the by value 4, 3, 2, 1.5, 1, 0.75, 0.5, and I forget the last 2 16ths. But the whole note is float value 4. The dotted half note is float value 3, and the other ones, half note is 2, dotted quarter note is 1.5, quarter note is 1, dotted eighth note is 0.75, eighth note is 0.5. In terms of relating the note length to a value, from a string to a float. And there's just the basic of math required of organization. Measures 4, time signature being 4.0, And when having the right measure, you have to have the float values equal. But yeah, my score is 14. Pretty good. Pretty good score. I think these improvements have, or these things have improved my playthrough just on one song, I could tell. The visualization, the score adjustments. And I'll have to track down that error later. Let's see if I get another error here. Let's do tempo. Right now, average tempo by default is 169. I'm going to do the dynamic tempo for the single track. Average 86 tempo. Previous score is 1399. So that was before I made the score adjustments. Last time I had accuracy 65 and hit count of 830. Streak of 64. Let's see how it goes this time. Assuming the guitar is in tune, right? Alright, gonna mute the mic this time until over. I stopped because I looked at the hit log and I can't tell. My first gut says out of tune, not picking it up, or volume threshold. Down out of tune by 2 steps. Or 1 step. It's the intonation, right? But I'm not going to adjust it. I'm just going to let it go out of tune. All right, so I've been on the bridge pickup the entire time. Let's see if I can mix up the pickups. So that visual feedback. Oh, there's that error. Oh, there was a last minute change that I made. I know where that's failing. That's the only source code you'll see. I'll get there later. Let's see. Snapshot error. I know where that is. Simple overlooked line change. Anyways, I noticed a spot that wasn't defined in the note log frequency, I would think. The chord from the 5th string, 4th string, 5th fret, 8th fret, 5th string, 4th string, 5th fret, 10th fret. Quite a pinky stretch from the 7th fret to the 8th fret to the 10th fret, all while on the pinky with the first finger staying in the same position. Only possible with Gibson scale lengths, 24.75 inch scale, not a 25. So, with that said, I think I know where I missed some note. And that's going to crash every time the song stops until I fix the program. So that was Daylight Dies, Stats, December 11th, Score, 1,000, Accuracy, 68, so it's 3% more accurate than last time. And it was also 0.08 slower than the last time, 0.08 BPM on average. So the previous ones had different logic for updating score. So my score here, I use different logic. Like this in this version of Song Visualizer. So it's interesting that I have less score because I went very subtle with most of the bonus points. The highest bonus point being the streak, apparently. The note lengths bonus is not being that much because I don't want to give you like 15,000 score for 800 notes. The score 1,000 is pretty good with some bonuses applied, I think. Well, I don't know. We'll tweak it over time. Important thing is I got the timing of each note implemented when considering the score, although it may be minimal. I should at least do a couple more before ending this session. And each one is an error because I'm not going to fish it. I'm not going to fix the code during the stream. Daylight dies 68%. I'll get more accurate once I define some of those frets that seem to not be defined. Because what I have to do, I have a JSON that says, okay, this string, this fret equals this frequency. And if it's not there, -1. Don't error. The error I have now is from a different last minute change I made at the, like, without even testing, I just pushed it. But it's an error every time the song stops. Let's do some more drop C. I kind of want to redo that one. I did the main part of the song with the bridge pickup. Sorry, the neck pickup. I don't even count how many open strings it is. I just look at until it's over. It's you have to fluctuate down pick, up pick, while maintaining the double stop, 5 and 3, muting the 4, and going up to the 6, and doing the appropriate mutings. And then it's, well, it's messy, but then you mix it up with the hammer-on pull-off. Just for the this 5th string from 7 to 8. Or at least it's a hammer-on. I think it's still in tune. So that was Hope Is. The whole song is just basically a riff. Go to stats. 72, I'll take it. 788 score, 703 hit count, 20 streak. So that means, well, I could have got more than 1 streak. That's just the longest. But I would say a bunch, who knows how much scores from the note lengths. But that's all pretty much 8th notes. Or 16th notes, one of those. Hope Is 72%. Next. Or let's redo it. Did I do the tempo? No, I didn't. Tempo. Dynamic. Average 75. Normally 96. not going to fix that error yet. Self is showing JSON after step. It's true, but I had to synchronize it with the user settings JSON. That's where I got messy. Because before, we'll get into that later. More drop C. That was, let's look at the score. Look at the score of it. What was it? What was it again? Hope is the tough one. Stats. December 11th, blah, blah, blah. Score 818, accuracy 73. Was more accurate than last time because I was more focused on that riff, but I still got distracted. I don't know why. It always catches me by surprise, those open strings. But I was more prepared that time. 722 hit count. I'll take it. So let's just name it. Next. Reject yourself. Average tempo by default 190. Mix it up with the dynamic max 98. 96 BPM average. Maybe I could adjust the max now that I could adjust the notes, speed, stuff. Later on I'll do that. This session I just play because I did 4 big updates in this version 0.7y. And I got to fix this stupid error afterwards. Let's play some. Hold on. It's not detecting one of these chords. This one, the open string G. No, open string. Open fourth string and the third string second fret. It's not detecting that. I don't know if it's out of tune or if I just didn't put that chord in the JSON for drop C. Sometimes drop C has different tunings than E standard. They're not logical and just have to be manually defined. Some of them are simple. So this is down, out of tune. So if the string is out of tune, there's some lenience. But sometimes the leniency isn't picked up in a chord because tune those together may not be as simple as adjusting by 5 plus or minus. Maybe completely different frequency altogether. Why do I always adjust the fourth string rather than third? Okay, let's see if it detects the note now, the chord. It detected this one. 4, 6, frets 4 to 6, strings 4 to 3. It detected that one, just not the open string 4, third string second fret. We'll see how it goes. Also, I'm still going between the pickups, right? Let's see which one. I'm just glad it errors after the song score was created, so it doesn't. So it does save the score. So I have to see what that. I should have a button. Open recent. Right now it's just open tuning, open artist, open song. What was that? Reject yourself. I gotta do Desperate Times. December 11th. Accuracy 70. Ooh, 3% more accurate than the one I just did before. Well, what was that? December 7th. Never mind. It's like, oh wait, I didn't play that one twice. Okay, that one is Reject Yourself, 70% accuracy. I discovered there's more chords that are not defined because I missed them when I know I hit them. It's one of my favorite parts of the song. Several parts. Several parts are miss, right? Whatever. I'm not going to do the 5 to 10 or whatever. I just skipped that. What I mean is the portion that goes open. I always say this every time. 6th string open. Hold on. 6th string open, 5th string, 5th fret, 4th string, 7th fret. Then just move the 2nd finger to the 6th fret, 4th string. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I'm off a fret. Hold on. It's actually 2nd finger, 5th fret. 2nd finger, 5th fret, 5th string, 4th finger, 7th fret, 4th string. Power chord, open string, 6th string open. Then you put the 3rd finger on the 4th string, 6th fret. Then you put the 1st finger on the 4th string, 4th fret. So you're basically using the 4th string and 4 different frets with 4 fingers. 1st finger on the 4th string, 4th fret. 2nd finger on the 5th string, 5th fret. And the 2nd finger stays. The only thing you're changing, 1st finger and 2nd finger stays. The only thing you're changing is the 3rd finger and then the 4th finger and then the first 2. Some chords that are like not usually found in some typical East Standard songs, at least, is the 5th fret on the 5th string, a fret behind from either the 4th. Let's compare it. This could be 2 strings at once, the 4th and 5th or 5th and 6th. But either way, when the higher string is a fret above the lower string, whether it's it's so hard to say strings, frets. Let's just play some more. Well, I'm kind of surprised at that stats, 84%. I felt like I missed a lot. There's a specific breakdown that I don't play often that's hard to sight read. It's from the power chord 3 to 5, slide the 3 to 1. That's or 1 to, 3 to 5 to 1 to 3. That's fine, but it's the part after that. It's something like the second fret A string, which is not something you usually play in drop C. That's an E standard thing. and it does something to the fifth, and some other stuff. But the thing is, it doesn't repeat it. You only play it so often. My favorite part of this, of course, is it double stops from 14 to 15 back to 10. I don't that lead riff. So hold on, 5 to 9, 5 7 5 9. Something like that. That's a tough one to get. Not because of the pinky stretch. That pinky stretch is fine, but this it only sounds good at certain tempo. Too slow is not the best sounding, so it's hard to play that sometimes. Oh well, that was I gotta name that. Hold on. Let's see. I'll take this out. That was the one I was starting to play. And you know, I gotta say something else. In The Daylight Dies, that visualization of the slide really helped a lot. Sure, I missed that riff somewhere else. Was it Desperate Times? Where you have the bar on the 5/4 string. It's not a typical string, but it does sound good. Or not a typical fretting string, fret, whatever. Never seen that before that song where you do the 5/4 bar in the same fret. Drop C thing, I think. Oh, hold on. First tune it and mute the mic. Okay, I was having a lot of thoughts while playing that. Uh, the the note detection for some of the main riff. I'm not sure if it detected it. It's because what I did is with palm mutes, I shortened the sustain. Because yeah, you want to palm mute it, so I shortened the sustain length. But in that, in turn, is making the blue or white highlight note detection visualization feedback being a lower or harder to see. So kill switch engage and take this oath. Let's go to stats. 76% accuracy. Strange. I noticed there's at least possibly 3 chords that are not defined in the JSON. They are the 9th fret, 3rd string, 1st finger, 12th fret, 4th string, 4th finger. Because this one was detected, the 12 to 14 version. And so was this one. Or whatever it was from 10 to 12. And then switching up to the 9 to 12. And this one was not detected. Also, the 7th wasn't. 7th fret was not note detected. As well as the double stop version of the 5th string open, 2nd fret, 3rd string, which I had trouble. I accidentally played it too early. Because first it goes, well, it goes down. From 5th to 3rd to 1st to 0. So those are traditional, the 1, 3, 5s, double stops on the 1st string. Double stops on the 1st finger, 5th fret, 5th string, down to the 3rd fret, 1st fret. But when you throw in the open 5th, you still have to mute the 4th string. Oh, dang it. It's so weird, because suddenly the 3rd string goes from the 3rd finger to the 2nd finger. I've never done that. And suddenly you have to mute with the 3rd finger instead. So the 2nd and 3rd fingers are switching roles on the 2nd fret, 3rd string, and the 5th string open. I want to play it one more time, but first let me lock this one. One more time, then I'll stop the session here. Or actually, not one more time. I'll do some other song. Life the Lifeless. Default 128. My dynamic average 64.